Enough with all the hypocrisy. Because this week Jikook didn't just give us love, they gave us proof, and there are still those who dare to deny it. BTS returned to Korea in mysteriously separate groups, and don't tell me it's a coincidence because we already know who's pulling the strings to keep them apart. Then at the airport, they put on a show with Jungkook's silence, which they edited to their liking to keep fueling a sinking ship. But in Las Vegas, no amount of editing could change that. Jungkook literally held Jimin's waist to let him go first with a gentleness that only exists when there's real love. Don't go away, because by the end of this video, everything will make sense. The 7 members of BTS are finally returning to Korea after a very intense few days of work in Las Vegas. Jimin, Yoongi, and J-Hope are already on their way, while Jungkook, Namjoon, Jin, and Taehyung are also heading home. It's a relief to know that after so much effort during their performances, they'll all be able to get the rest they so desperately need. Seeing them all traveling and fulfilling their schedules fills us with joy, because we know that they support each other every step of the way and continue creating memories as the great team they are. Although we'd love to see them all together on the same flight, sharing laughter, the reality is that the group is returning separately. If we pay attention to the details, it's easy to notice a recurring situation. The company decides to separate Jimin and Jungkook on their trips. It doesn't take much to understand that this is a strategy the company always uses when it comes to those two. Although they are a couple who always want to be close, the logistics of travel create a distance that we can all clearly see. We hope the trip goes smoothly for everyone and that each of them arrives in Korea safe and sound. After working so hard in Las Vegas, the most important thing is that they have time to rest and recharge away from the cameras and stages. Even though the company continues to find ways to keep them apart during their travels, the affection that Jimin and Jungkook have for each other is something that fans notice with every step they take. We will be keeping a close eye on their arrival, hoping that they can soon be together and peacefully enjoying their free time. Recently, when Jungkook, Jin, and Taehyung arrived at the airport, something happened that raised many questions. A reporter directly asked Jungkook if the masks they were wearing were matching couple masks. At that moment, Jungkook chose not to answer at all and remained completely silent, not saying a single word despite the reporter's persistence. It was then that Taehyung spoke up to clarify that the mask belonged to Jungkook, but even so, Jungkook continued his silence, offering no explanation or confirmation of anything he was being asked. Many people online have been saying that Jungkook did confirm that the masks were matching couple masks and that they share them. It's important to note that this is not true. If we analyze the video carefully, it's clear that Jungkook didn't say anything to confirm any theory. Many people edit videos or take things out of context to make them seem like something they're not, trying to feed their own version of events. We must be very careful with the information we see because not everything circulating on social media is true or represents what actually happened. We must be very smart and not trust every video we see online, especially when they come from people who desperately want to force a relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook. The reality is that Jungkook didn't answer that question and chose to remain silent. The facts are simple. There was no confirmation, no words, and no proof of what many people want to believe. As Jikook fans, we must focus on what's really happening and not be fooled by those who fabricate evidence to try and confuse us. On the 4th day of the Las Vegas concert, something happened that all Jikook fans immediately noticed. Jungkook paused silently for a moment, waiting for Jimin to pass in front of him first. It was a brief second, but Jungkook didn't continue walking until he was sure Jimin was okay and could pass. As he did this, Jungkook gently placed his hand on Jimin's waist. It's a clear action that demonstrates how Jungkook is always attentive to Jimin, prioritizing him above anything else happening on stage at that moment. This gesture from Jungkook is very special because it shows the closeness between the two. Jimin walked in front of him with complete confidence, while Jungkook guided him with his hand, watching over his every step. It's incredible to see how, among so many people and in the middle of such a large concert, Jungkook continues to give Jimin that level of attention. It's clear that for them, acting this way is perfectly normal and commonplace, because they don't care who's watching, they always look out for each other in such a natural and constant way. The way Jungkook places his hand on Jimin's waist speaks volumes about their relationship. It's a very gentle touch that confirms how close they are as a couple. Many people who witnessed that moment felt the tenderness they shared, because it wasn't something they did for the cameras, but something that came spontaneously. Seeing Jungkook giving Jimin that space demonstrates that their relationship is genuine and that the respect and affection they have for each other is the first thing you see when they're together anywhere in the world. Recently, on a television program called KFN+, the official channel of the South Korean military, they showed exactly where Jimin and Jungkook served. During a tour of the facilities of the Army's 5th Infantry Division, the cameras entered a very important room where medals and awards are kept. There, a woman named Yerin, who was present, pointed out something that caught everyone's attention: a framed plaque with Jimin and Jungkook's names. This plaque has both of their official signatures and is a permanent memento of their time there. The most touching thing about seeing this plaque is that it has handwritten messages from them. On the plaque, you can clearly read, "Greetings to the famous Artillery Brigade. Sergeant Park Jimin, Sergeant John Jungkook." It's very impactful to see their signatures appear together, accompanied by their military ranks of sergeant. The fact that the Army placed this plaque in its official exhibition hall confirms that they both served together, experiencing this stage of their lives side by side, sharing the same work and duties in the same unit. Seeing their names engraved there forever in the Artillery Brigade helps us better understand their time serving the country. This plaque is real proof that Jimin and Jungkook were together every step of the way during their military service. For all of us who follow Jikook, seeing their signatures there, side by side, with their sergeant ranks, is the clearest sign that their bond is unbreakable. It's a historic moment officially recorded, making it clear that wherever one is, the other is too, even in the Army. On the 4th day of the Las Vegas concert, Jimin wasn't feeling well, but despite that, he went on stage to fulfill his performance. It was a very emotional moment for everyone because we saw how, even though his body wasn't in good shape, Jimin was present and gave his all in every part of the show. His commitment as an artist was total, and seeing him there, striding in front of thousands of people, demonstrates why he is such a dedicated and professional dancer and artist. Throughout that time, Jungkook was there taking care of Jimin in a very special way. He didn't leave him alone for a second and was attentive to Jimin's every step to make sure he was okay. It was very evident to everyone watching the concert that Jungkook had Jimin's full attention focused on him. The way Jungkook protected him during every minute of the show was the clearest proof that he is Jimin's greatest support when things get tough. Seeing Jimin finish his work and Jungkook take care of him every step of the way makes it clear that their relationship is genuine. Jimin is a great artist because, despite feeling unwell, he did an excellent job, and Jungkook is a great partner because he was there looking after him the whole time. We love you so much, Jimin, for your hard work, and we also love you so much, Jungkook, for being there for him at all times. That bond between the two of them is what makes their fans always support them and admire how much they care for each other. A crew member who worked on BTS's Oreo campaign shared what Jimin and Jungkook were like behind the scenes. According to this crew member, Jimin and Jungkook were always together, talking, joking, and laughing all the time. For all of us, this confirms what we already know, that Jikook always stay close and are each other's safe haven. You can see how much they care for each other by the way they spend their time, even in the middle of a long, tiring workday when others might be tired or distracted. The crew member explained very clearly how they had fun during the shoot. He said that Jungkook kept teasing Jimin, blowing in his ear and doing silly things to get his attention or just to have fun together. Meanwhile, Jimin reacted very funny to all of Jungkook's jokes, showing that they have a very natural and relaxed chemistry. Everything this young man described shows us that their connection is constant and that they make no effort to pretend, they are simply themselves, enjoying each other's company, just like two people who trust each other deeply. Clearly, this account is a direct response to all those who doubt Jikook and believe they only act for the cameras. When we hear testimonies like this workers, we realize that their connection and affection are real and present at all times, not just when a camera is in front of them. The way they treat each other is sincere, full of trust, and very close, which confirms that their bond is strong and a fundamental part of how they live their daily lives, even when no one is watching and there are no spotlights on them. These kinds of experiences allow us to see a more private side of their relationship, away from the stage and the public eye. Reading the testimony of someone who saw them up close during their work, we understand that the trust they have never disappears, rather, it is the foundation of everything they do together. It is extremely important to value these details because they give us the peace of mind of knowing that, behind what everyone sees, Jimin and Jungkook live a mutual, constant and very sincere affection. Consolidating their union is one of the most special and true that we know. A young woman who works at a location where Jimin was filming shared an experience that perfectly illustrates how special he is. She recounted that, despite the manager's strict order against asking for autographs, she stood there with her t-shirt in hand, hoping for a chance despite her nerves. She was literally trembling, but as soon as Jimin saw her, he wasn't indifferent. On the contrary, he smiled at her and took the time to speak directly to her in the midst of the situation. What Jimin did next surprised everyone present. Instead of ignoring the prohibition or simply walking by, he gave her a practical tip to ensure her memory would last forever. He told her, if you're going to sign a t-shirt, you should use a fabric marker so it doesn't wash off. With that simple gesture, Jimin showed once again that he cares about the details and how the person in front of him feels, making it clear that his kind heart is genuine and unwavering. To ensure the fan could get the autograph she so desperately wanted, Jimin didn't hesitate to ask the same manager who had ordered him not to sign for a pen. This gesture was incredibly kind and professional, as Jimin handled the situation with complete calm and politeness, without causing any problems but fulfilling the girl's wish. His face and personality shone brightly in that moment, leaving an indelible mark not only on the fan but on everyone who witnessed his kindness. This episode is a clear indication of why Jimin is considered unique and charming. Despite being a world-class artist, his essence remains that of a humble and approachable person who values those who support him. Seeing him act with such kindness off-camera confirms that the big heart he always displays is not accidental, but a fundamental part of who he is. Jimin always leaves a beautiful mark wherever he goes, demonstrating that his magic and kind demeanor are what make him who he is, an exceptional human being. The way Jimin handled this encounter is a reminder of why so many people love and admire him so deeply. It's not often you see a public figure stop to offer practical advice and care about the quality of an autograph for a fan, especially when the rules of the environment were so strict. Jimin not only broke down the barrier of fame with his smile, but he also demonstrated absolute respect for the work and feelings of others. This attitude defines his path and reinforces the admiration we feel for him, confirming that his humanity is as great as his talent on stage.